Well, on our second lead story today, Niger's political wars and woes took another turn after one of the major opposition leaders against incumbent President Mahamadou Issoufou was handed a suspended sentence over allegations authorities described as quote-unquote calling on his allies to remain united against President Mahamadou Issoufou and force him from power by all legal means available. Niger has been dealing with its own political uncertainties, and in March, a court freed 15 civilians accused of complicity in an alleged December 2015 rebellion against President Issoufou. Now, at the same time, 9 military officers, including the accused ringleader, General Salou Suleiman, are still behind bars awaiting trial.
And just as I said in the headline, the lawyer of Amadou Djibo has appealed the decision made by the justice system. Master Suli Umaru has denounced procedural flaws, the main charge, incitement to conspiracy, which is illegal. In order to have a conspiracy, there must have been an agreement between at least two people. But Amadou Djibo is the only one who was charged. It is a non-compliance with the law, he said. Master Suli Umaru also said that he had noticed some irregularities in the procedure, including audio documents that have not been listened to by the defense. While Amadou Djibo stood trial on May 23rd, his lawyers had already advanced several procedural flaws and obtained from the judge that the matter on the ground would be heard on the 26th of May. The defense had particularly denounced a bad transcription of a speech by its client in the local language and on which the accusation is based. We head to Niamey, the capital of Niger, where a political analyst, Abdul Karim Mahamadou, is on standby. Mr. Abdul Karim, how can you explain this release of Amadou Djibo? I think this release makes sense, especially since there were really no charges against him. This is something that he was pleased to do at a meeting. He simply told the activists that an opposition is not only limited to declarations. They have to go out to express their despair, to say what they think about the poor management of the regime, and that if this regime has to go, it is only because it has to go. So I find that the worst remarks than what he said were made in the past. The supporters of the current government also, when they were in the opposition, made worse statements than this and were not investigated for further measures. So I find it logical. It is for this reason that his lawyers have decided to appeal this court decision, because they do not agree and that their client should fully recover his freedom. But giving him 3 months of a suspended sentence is a way of telling him to shut up and shut his mouth. So you think it was an attempt of intimidation orchestrated by the government? Listen, this is what has been going on for some time in this country, because the regime is very allergic to critiques as well as to the opposition, the civil society and some press organizations. Even journalists are not left out. They are intimidated. They always tell them to go somewhere else, leave us to manage ourselves the way we want, as we think. And before Amadou Djibo, there was the sentencing of Amadou. Can we say it is a way of the regime in place to decapitate the opposition? Listen, the decapitation operation of the opposition did not start today. It has been a long time since this regime began to crush the opposition political parties. In any case, it is those who represent something, who have a certain weight. They were crushed. The MNSD was divided into two. A party was born from the MNSD. It is now part of the ruling party. The MNSD also joined the ruling party a year ago. Before that, it was the Lumana. When the Lumana of Amadou left, some activists of his party and party officials did not agree with him. They joined the regime and remained in the government. Others have created their own political parties. Today, politics in Niger has become a kind of showcase where the ruling party has the right to expose. And Amadou, what do you think about the opposition? Easing tensions, I'm not so sure, because the opposition is still on the warpath. It is still in ambush. It is considering protests in the coming days, since Amadou Djibo himself said in a statement that the fighting has just begun. It means that we are far from the prevalence, but it is still a victory of democracy, as he puts it, because it is a victory of justice. This proves that somewhere, independent justice did not go in the direction it wanted. According to the lawyers of Amadou Djibo, the government would have wished to see him sentenced to a firm prison sentence, but that has not been the case. So it's a victory of democracy, as he says. It is evidence that somewhere there is independent justice.